Today's event is really an exciting event because what we're seeing out in the marketplace is there's a new normal post pandemic. I know a lot of companies have gotten back to work, but what we're seeing is there are a lot of businesses struggling with people working from home, disrupted supply chains. Companies not necessarily being at full staff, really working with employee shortages and, really having to do a lot of things that they normally wouldn't have done, prior to the pandemic. So, looking at tools like mobile is a real important aspect of, modernizing your business to really, take advantage of these challenges, right? So, some of the concerns that we're seeing out there when we talk to our customers and things they're trying to accomplish are things like, how are you accepting orders, right? Are you accepting orders today just over the phone or faxed? Obviously, with the rise in mobile devices, you want to allow your customers to also maybe enter in orders through a mobile device, right? How are you processing customer returns? Is it the same way? Can they do it through a mobile device? Can your sales reps process returns in the field if you have a sales team out there? How are you getting your invoices to your customers? If people are working from home, are you still emailing or mailing out invoices to customer buildings or specific people where they may not be in the office? So are they getting those invoices in a timely manner? Right? Through a mobile device, they would get them immediately, right? How are your customers paying their bills? Can they pay online? Can they pay through a mobile device? Are you still relying on, mail and checks being mailed in? So as you can see, there are a lot of different things that mobile can help you out with, right? How are your sales reps getting information? If your sales reps are in the field, can they get access to customer and product information anytime, anywhere they're located? And then on the truck side, how are you processing proof of delivery? Are you still using paper where the customer has to sign a piece of paper and that piece of paper comes back to your office? Maybe you scan that in for, into a document imaging system, or you're doing it through a mobile device that kind of automates that whole process and does it automatically, right? So that's where mobile can really help. And we're going to show you today, using our S2K mobile applications, how this can be accomplished, right? So, but one of the important things to understand is that there are two types of mobile apps that are out there, right? When you're looking at mobile apps, there is a web app, and then there's a mobile app, right? And it can be very confusing as to what you're looking at because they can look very similar to the end user, right? But a web app is connected through the internet, right? It cannot be run without an internet connection. Basically, the web app is hitting a server and really running in a browser, so to speak, but it's kind of formatted to the size of your mobile device, right? So it really is not necessarily a local mobile app. And what VAI sells are local mobile apps, meaning our apps can work connected or disconnected, so the data actually syncs down to the device so that the end user can work in a connected mode or disconnected mode. And that's very important if, especially in the food business where you may be giving the app to a restaurant owner or a chef, and that chef might be in the back stock room or in the basement or somewhere where there's not a great internet connection. At least with a mobile app, they'll still be able to process their order. And then when they're ready to send the order in, they can get connected and send the order in. So having that connected and disconnected capability is very important when you're looking at mobile apps. The other thing is that it runs locally on device, which means we can access the device capabilities such as the camera, the touchscreen navigation will all mirror image what the user is used to on their mobile app, right? The other thing too, mobile apps usually are very easy to use. They're very single level function focused, where they're just doing one job, placing an order, delivering something, which makes it easier for the user to use. So very important that when you're looking at mobile apps that you get a clear distinction of whether the app you're looking at is a web app and needs an internet connection, or is it a local mobile app that's running on the local device? Okay, so let's take a look at order processing. This is our most popular mobile app we're seeing a lot of customers use this for not only their sales reps, but also they're branding this application and giving it to their customers so that their customers can place orders directly with them through the mobile app. And like I said, all of the data from the S2K Enterprise ERP system, the customer information, the pricing, the items, all of that information is synced down to that device so that the customer and or sales rep can work online or offline, right? So just want to show you how you can brand this. This is one of our customers, Seacore Seafood, and they basically branded the app with their logo, and their customers can now download it through the Apple Store or through Google Play and place their orders, right into their system using a mobile application. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the screens here. So whether it's your sales rep or your customer, the first screen they're going to get is the screen on the left, which is the account selection. Now, if this is a customer, they're going to be locked into their account and they can't really change the account information. But sales reps could obviously do a search on the account selection menu and find the account they want to place the order for. Underneath that is a series of menus allowing them to shop by department or shop by history, meaning show me things I've ordered in the past, which is very popular in the food industry. They can also search for products by simply typing in a description or a name and finding a product. You can see here when you click on a category, in the middle, it'll show you all the products in that category. You can choose to show availability, how much you have in stock or not. You can see in my demo, I'm not showing availability, but obviously I'm showing pricing. Okay, so you could let the customer know how many cases or PEaches you have available. If you'd like, you don't have to. Okay, if you shop by a description or shop by order guide is another way you can shop, where you created specific order guides for customers to help them in placing orders through maybe a predefined menu of products that you'd like them to choose from. Okay, that's another way to shop. The user can drill into that item and see more information. Okay, they can see a detailed description, maybe a little sales paragraph on what the item is all about, and really just zoom into the picture if they want to see the item closer, and place the order right from the detail page. Okay, if this was a sales rep, you might also want and give them capabilities to override the price. Okay, so you can have sales reps have the ability to change the price if need be. If it's a consumer or customer using the app, they would just place the order at the current price. All right, you can also see that we do handle things like catch weight pricing. So we will use the average weight of the item to calculate the price per pound if an item is sold by the pound. And then obviously when you ship that merchandise, you're going to capture the actual selling weight and adjust the invoice. So when we do credit card processing through the mobile app, we will add a buffer to the credit card authorization to take it to buffer ourselves with any final charges that might be posted. Okay, when the user checks out all the way to the right, if it's a consumer or customer, they're only going to be allowed to choose credit card or put it on their account. If this is a sales rep using the device and they're out in the field, you can turn on other options. As you can see here, I turned on cash, check, and credit card to allow the sales rep to collect any money in the field as well. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can submit the order as a quote request so that it doesn't go into our system as an order. It goes into as a quote request, and then you can return your final pricing to the customer. Okay. All right. So that's submitting an order. Works pretty much like, a basic e-commerce site that you would go to. But here are some of the additional capabilities that you might also really like with the mobile device. And one of them is what we call account inquiry. So account inquiry really allows your customers or your sales reps for a specific customer to, look at the status of their account. They can look at open orders. So as you see here, if you click on your orders, these are all the orders that are in the back office ERP system, not just the orders that came in through mobile, right? So if your customer wanted to use this to check the status of one of their orders, they could, right? So he can see here that most of his orders are have been invoiced, and some of the orders that he put in are now on hold for whatever reason. Maybe it's a credit hold, but they'll be able to drill into those orders and see details. Okay, so it's really nice. They can see exactly what was on that invoice. They could get a reprint of it if they'd like. You could see here that I'm looking at one of the orders that was invoiced. I could see my line items in the middle of the screen there. And then up on the top, I can use that hamburger menu to say, can you send me another copy of this invoice? Email this invoice. And the system will do that automatically for them. Okay, so those are some of the nice options that the customer would have in looking up their existing orders. Okay, the other thing they can look up is their account balance, right? So if it clicks on your account, you can see here that we're going to show an aging of their current receivables. And then from here, using the menu below, they can look at their open invoices, AR history, payment history. But what the nice thing is here with this option is that you can actually allow your customers to pay their bills from their mobile device. Right, so you can see here, I clicked on Open AR, and on the right-hand side, I'm seeing my open invoices and how much is due on that invoice. And if I want to, I can click on the hamburger menu and make a full payment or a partial payment for any of those invoices. So I would just click on that hamburger menu, I would select partial payment, and I would be able to put in, type in on the right-hand side. You can see I can type in the amount that I want to pay. Okay, and then I could do that for a bunch of invoices if I was a customer. And then when I am ready to, move forward, I would hit next. And you can see, again, you can turn on different payment options. If it's a customer using this, they would only have the credit card. But if it was a sales rep collecting money, maybe out when they're visiting a customer, they could take other forms of payment. Okay, what's nice about this option is that this cash receipts batch, if you would, goes directly into the S2K ERP cash receipts application. So you would see an open batch in cash receipts from this customer or from this sales rep in the field, right? So it's a real nice capabilities there. Okay. Some other options that you have off of the account screen, looking up, past paid bills already. So these are already been paid. So this is AR history. They can look at, past bills that have been paid and drill into them, get additional copies if they'd like. And then the payment history screen just shows them any payments that you've gotten in from them, how much the payment was. And if I drilled into it, I could see what invoices were paid with that payment as well. Okay. All right. So some other capabilities that you have on the notes area, this is really great for the sales reps. Typically, we don't turn on notes for the customer, but when the sales rep's out in the field, he might want to make a note that he stopped into an account and just update the VAI CRM system in the back office that he had some notes on the account. And what's nice about it being a mobile device is that when you go and enter a note, you could see that you can use the microphone and basically just speak into the phone. So you could say, I spoke to this customer, they would like an updated price list, and there's no typing for the sales rep. They just speak, they save, and now that's, added to the note file for your back office ERP system. So you could see any notes that salespeople have made in the field when dealing with customers. Okay. Another thing that's nice is they can update and maintain their own contact list. Again, this is popular for your sales reps using the application, where they may want to update contacts or get a contact's email address or phone number. And you can see they can not only see them, but they can maintain them here as well. Okay. Call history is logging in phone calls. So in addition to notes, some people use the S2K Enterprise Salesforce application, which is our back office CRM system. And there is a distinction in our CRM system between notes and phone calls. So we added to the latest version of the mobile the ability to log in a call, which would be specifically a phone call that you might have made, and it's tagged as such in the back office CRM. Basically the same functions as typing in a note. But if you use that option, it's going to be tagged as a phone call in the S2K CRM system. Okay, so you can see here, here's the call detail. You can type in or use the voice to type in what you talked about, and it'll be logged in as part of the call history in the CRM system. Okay, So that is order processing. Now, VAI also authors another product called Route Sales. And basically, it's the same product that you just saw, but really what this application is it allows you to sell off of the inventory that's on the truck, right? So we have some food customers that, sell product off of their truck. We have a few companies that supply C-stores with candy and cigarettes, tobacco, and other food products. We have other companies that sell, deli, cold cuts and stuff like that to stores directly, and they sell it off of the truck. So the S2K Route Sales application allows you to do this, and you can see in the middle of the menu there, you could see where the load request is, the load verification, and that's really where you're loading up inventory onto the truck. In the back office on the S2K ERP system, the truck is just really another warehouse, right? So we basically set up the truck as a warehouse. We can, load up that truck with inventory through a warehouse transfer. That's what the load requested is. It's really just a way that the driver can say, I would like these products loaded on my truck. Those products get loaded. They verify that the transfer has been completed. That's what the load verification is. And then they're on their way with that inventory. You'll see there are some other options on the screen. Transfer inventory from one truck to another. And then obviously if on the truck that's receiving that goods, they can receive it in. So there's some options if two trucks were meeting on, out in the field to transfer goods between the two trucks. Okay. So basically what the driver does then is they will, put the day of the week in, and maybe they have a preset, route and stop that they follow for that day of the week. And you can see on the first screen, it just kind of gives them the order that on this route, which is route V901, this is the first stop, the second stop, the third stop. So this is a sales route, if you would, where the driver's going out and they're going to be going to each one of those, stores, if you would. Okay. You can see when they get there, the driver has the option to sell merchandise off of the truck, or they can actually take an order that's going to ship from the main warehouse back in the corporate DC, so to speak, right? So they do have the option when they get there. They say this order is going to be fulfilled from my truck, or is it going to be fulfilled from the back office, right? And then placing the order basically works the same. You can see I'm not using food options here. This is basically office supplies, but it works the same way where they can shop by category, shop by guides, promotional items, and basically build out their order the same way they would through the order entry app. And then they can check out, right? If they were dropping it off and shipping it from their truck, they would flag it as a sale. So you can see on the top, there's a couple of buttons. Is this just an order, a quote, or a sale? And if they're shipping it from the truck, it would default to sale. And this is where they would accept some type of payment, right? Whether it be cash, check, credit card, or you can allow the customer to put it onto their standard terms and you can bill them later, right? So you have a bunch of different options here, and the driver completes his route. Okay. When they're done, they can have the customer sign if you want. You can also have the driver sign during the load request. I just wanted to show you this. So I'm going back to the original loading up the truck with with items here. So you can see that the load request button allows the driver to say, I need more of this or more of that. And then they verify that those items were loaded on the truck, and the driver signs, kind of as a way to ensure that the driver understands what was put on the truck. Okay. All right. And then when the truck driver gets back, they can do a truck transfer, or return to warehouse, where they're going to, return the items that they may have not delivered or not sold. And they can add reason codes if they want, but they can just put them back into inventory. And that will do a warehouse transfer from truck, number 30 here back to the main warehouse. Okay. All right. And then if you want, you can have the device, give you a route history printout. So in the back office, when you're looking at the administration sign on for this application, you can say, I want to see a complete route history and see where the driver was and whatnot. So there's some nice options here where you can print out and, where the driver was driving and stopped. So it'll basically ping the device every so often and just put a pin into where the driver was at a specific, time. Okay, so that's a nice option for a route history. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a video of somebody using this application live. This is one of our customers, and they use it for delivering cigarettes and candy and tobacco to their C-stores. I'll narrate it. I don't think I have sound that'll come through here, so I'll narrate it, and you're going to see how our customers are using this app in the field. Okay, so here's one of our customers. Here's the driver arriving at the C-store. And the driver will walk in. They use tablets. They use miniature tablets to do this. You don't have to use a mobile device. You can use tablets. And you can see here that the driver is using a Bluetooth scanner in his hand to basically just walk around the C-store and see what products are needed. Right, so they scan them and they just put in the quantity, how many more they need. Okay, and they're just going through, building the order while they're in the store with the Bluetooth scanner. Okay, so they can check pricing, they can check availability, they can do whatever they want on these devices. Right, you can see we have images, we're showing the driver different things. Maybe he wants to sell promotional items. Okay. And then the driver is going to go out to the truck and fulfill that order they just took. All right. So if he needs to, he could make substitutions if he didn't have everything that he thought we might have had, or whatever it may be. He can make substitutions, and they're fulfilling the order from the truck. Okay. Once that order is fulfilled, they can leverage a mobile printer and print out the customer invoice. So you're going to see here that an invoice will print for the customer using a Bluetooth mobile printer. Okay. And they can then go back into the store and complete the delivery, where they'll give the customer the merchandise as well as a copy of the invoice there that the customer can verify. Okay. So that's just an example of how you can use the option. So the other way to do it is through what we call the paper method, where if you don't want to use a Bluetooth scanner, right, you can actually just write up the order, right, and then use the tablet in the truck. So there's two different ways you can do it. You can have the user, scan the merchandise with the tablet, which is, kind of what we prefer our customers to do. But some customers like to walk in with paper, take the order, go out to the truck, and then use the Bluetooth in the truck. Okay, so that's another way that you could do that same functionality. All right, so another application that's really popular is the proof of delivery. And what this application is it replaces the process of capturing signatures with a clean, efficient, paperless process to confirm the delivery of merchandise. So if you have your own trucks, no matter what you deliver, right, you can have your drivers download this proof of delivery app, and they can use this to confirm deliveries, right? So what happens is basically the orders go into the back office ERP system, they're picked and shipped, and they're assigned a specific route for a specific day, right? The driver then logs on to this proof of delivery app and basically will say that they are working on this route, on this day. And, the date is assumed that it's today. And they will put their route number in. They can type in a odometer reading. It's optional, but if they want to track a starting odometer reading and an ending odometer reading, you can, right? But basically, they put the route that they're delivering today. So I'm delivering route, 1010 here today. And I hit enter. And then what's going to happen is the system's going to go out and say, okay, here's all the orders from the back office that were assigned to that route. This is the only time the driver really has to be online, so to speak, right? They have to be connected to the internet to get the route and stops loaded down to the device. Once the once the orders are downloaded to the device, then the driver can be completely offline while he's confirming his deliveries, okay, which is a nice option here. Okay, so we do put the stops on a Google map if they want to see just a Google map for a visualization of where they're going. But typically, the driver would then get to the first stop, click on or just touch the screen that they arrived at that customer account. And you can see here that on this customer, I actually have to do two things. I have to deliver an order, but I also have to pick up an RA. So the proof of delivery will also, if you put an RA on a route, a return authorization, the application is going to say that when you get to that stop, you also have to pick up an RA, right? And both transactions have to be confirmed, right? So I'd have to confirm the order delivery, then I'd have to confirm the RA pickup. Okay, so basically when you have to do each one separate. So the first thing I'm going to do is deliver the order. So I click on deliver order, and I can just touch the screen here and say I delivered one of these and one of these and one of these. We do have a deliver all option, which is if you shrink wrap a pallet maybe that's already been shrink wrapped, you could say everything was delivered. For whatever reason, if the customer doesn't want the order, I could do a reject order. I can reject the entire order, which would issue a credit back to the customer for the entire order. Or you could see on any one line item, I can also say that I did not deliver this one item, which will issue a credit for the customer for that one item that wasn't delivered. And you can see here on the right-hand side, I can put in the reason why it wasn't delivered. I could also take a picture if I'd like of that damaged item. Okay. All right. So you can see that now that I flagged every item on the order that it was delivered, you'll see check marks are above each one of the items. I can now check out. In this demonstration, I happened to turn on that I wanted to accept payment. So if your driver accepts payment, you can see like on the other systems, I can accept cash, check, or credit card, and I can actually get in, post cash collected out in the field. Okay, and then I'm going to type in the contact name and have them sign. Okay, and what's really nice about this is that signature is a JPEG that basically overlays back on the invoice, and you can send the customer an email copy of their proof of delivery. Some of our customers use Bluetooth printers and they print them right then and there. If you want to have the customer get his copy right away, you can do that. Typically, a lot of our customers use email, where the customer signs and the emails are immediately sent out with the proof of delivery signature. Okay, so the next step would be to confirm the return. Right. So as you remember back, this customer had two transactions. One was an order and one was a return. So you can see now I have to confirm the return. I can take pictures if I want, at any time of the merchandise being returned. And then I would have the customer sign to validate the return was picked up. And you can see on the right-hand side, when both transactions are complete, they'll have check marks, and I'm on to my next, stop. Okay. You can also have the ability to make notes or reject the delivery for any reason off of the main menu. So when you're getting that stop list, there are some options to reject the delivery, and you can say why you're rejecting the delivery and not going to that specific location. Okay. All right. Just like the back office order processing system, we also give the drivers the ability to pay bills that maybe are just on the account, right? So maybe the driver's going there and he's not really delivering anything, or maybe he's delivering something, but he just wants to collect additional money, right? Not just for the delivery. The customer says, hey, listen, I'd like to pay my balance. So we do give that same capability. We just wanted to show you that off of the delivery window, you can say that this account also wants to pay open invoices as well. Okay, and it's the same process that you saw before. Okay, all right. When the driver's trying to end his route, it might give him a message that he hasn't completed it, and it'll say you have some pending deliveries. Please mark them as missed or skipped for whatever reason. All right, so the driver will be warned that he missed any stops. right? There's a nice route summary screen where he can look at what he completed, what's pending, and what's all. And then when he's really done, he can, finally close out his route. He can put in an ending odometer reading if you want, and then the system would show them a route summary. And so this is the delivery so far for this driver. Most of the deliveries were done on the same day, but this would be pretty much each day he'd be able to see what the deliveries were, how many orders were downloaded, and how many were delivered. Okay. All right, and then this is just an example of what the POD looks like when we take that JPEG image and we overlay it with the delivery confirmation form. You'll also notice on the top that we do track the delivery date, the time, and the geocode, the longitude, latitude, and of where the delivery was actually delivered. Right, so we know, we stamp it not only with the time and the date, but also the geo stamp. Okay, and then delivery is complete. All right. What's nice about it, if the driver was collecting money in the field, I just want to show you the back office because it's really cool. What happens is when the driver comes back, if he collected any money during the deliveries, you're going to see in the back office in the S2K ERP system, the cash batches that were automatically created for each driver en route. Right, so you can see here's all my drivers that are out there, and you can see how much money that the system knows they collected out in the field. Okay, and then basically what would happen is the driver would come in, they would hand in their checks in cash, right, and and then the accounts receivable clerk would call up that driver and then just have to enter in and verify the checks and the cash total, and then obviously a variance report will print that'll show the difference between what the accounts receivable clerk counted versus what the driver should have returned in. Okay, and you can see here it just details each one of the stops and how much money was collected. Okay, so that's just an overview really of some of the different things that you can do with mobile devices. Right, the order processing is really popular. Obviously, you want to give your customers many different ways and tools to place orders within the system, right? So you want to give them the ability to place orders right through their mobile device if they want. You want to give your sales reps that kind of access as well. The route sales, if you do sell off a truck, is a great application to keep track of inventory on the truck and sell merchandise right off of the truck. And then the proof of delivery, no matter what business you're in, if you deliver your own products, just confirming deliveries in an electronic way where you're capturing signatures and payments and everything's reconciled back with the accounts receivable is another great mobile tool that can be used to help you facilitate that process.